Live, going live. And we are live. Hello, my friends. My name is Evelyn Joy, and welcome back to my channel. I decided to leave these prizes up today just to show you how beautiful it looks with my new whiteboard. Being able to give my prizes to my students. I really, really like it. It does not look so colorful and nice. Anyway, this is a homemade, handmade reward that I made myself when I was new with VIPKID before I even had a printer, right? So, okay, if you know anything about me lately, you know I'm working for 3 companies and homeschooling and breastfeeding and gardening, and I'm a stay-at-home mom. How am I doing all of this? Well, I don't sleep, but that's neither here nor there. I have a lot of online teacher friends, and a lot of them work for several companies, but most of them are China-based companies. Most of the companies that are available are China-based companies. And I realized from trying to work for GoGoKid, along with VIPKID, for trying to work for iTutor Group, I realized that that doesn't work for me because all these China-based companies, they want the same PPT hours, which is that early morning hours, sometimes Friday and Saturday nights, and then when there's like a school vacation, every night of the week, right? Well, the mistake that I was afraid of making is double booking myself. What is double booking yourself? Double booking yourself is when you accidentally schedule the same time slot for 2 companies. You can't be 2 places at once, so you have to cancel one. And if you know anything about these companies, a lot of them are really strict, like VIPKID and GoGoKid. They're really strict on absences. So you can't let that happen too much, right? So I only taught 2 classes for GoGoKid, and I didn't follow through with my iTutor Group application. But what I did follow through with was when I got the opportunity to work for OutSchool, that's teaching any time of day I want to anyone around the world that wants to sign up for my classes. I get to come up with my own classes, so I teach Spanish. And I got to pick my own schedule, so it doesn't have to be those PPT hours that VIPKID wants, because I decided to be loyal as far as my early morning time slots and just give them to VIPKID. So I'm going to talk about my schedule today. So I have a chart here. I'm going to write down when I work. Also, there's a new company called Your Teachable Moment, and adults can take classes from each other. So when you get on that website, you might see yoga class, French class, sign language class, knitting class. I took a French class. It was a trial class. It was free. So check that out. Sometimes there's free, trials that you can take. I'm cheap like that. I'm taking a $10 finger knitting class with my friend Cindy Bennett. So you can check that out. It's under the knitting section. You can sign up and we can be classmates, guys. All you need is some yarn and some fingers. I love it. I'm not a knitter. I crochet. So that'll be real interesting to learn about with some friends, So looking forward to that. It's just $10 for one class. It's super fun. There's also a sign language class that some friends of mine are taking. They're really, really enjoying it. There's probably I think there's a organize your closet class. There's all sorts of different kinds of classes on meditation, all sorts of stuff. But I'm teaching Spanish on there. So I'm teaching beginner Spanish conversations classes. And actually there's another Spanish teacher who's teaching from a different teaching style, which is he's teaching stories and stuff. So you could take both Spanish classes and learn different. There's so much Spanish to be learned, right? I'm teaching how to have a conversation in a taxi, in an airport, in a hotel, in the supermarket, at the mall, when you're shopping and stuff, how to have those kinds of conversations. And then if you took his Spanish class, you could learn, a story and the kind of vocabulary that's in that story, right? So very cool. Anyway, my next Your Teachable Moment, I'm going to link it in the comments. I have a class. It's a 5-week class. It's 45 minutes each, only $5 per class, but you have to sign up for all 5. So it's $25 for 5 classes. This is dirt cheap, guys. We're going by supply and demand. It's a brand new company, and so my prices are low because the demand is low at the moment. But the company very soon is going to be doing a lot of advertising, and we're going to have an influx of students. And you're going to see my prices go up. So if you want to get some cheap Spanish classes, there's no better time than the present. I currently have a class that the first class hasn't started yet. It's starting on October 6th. That's a Tuesday. It's going to be on Tuesday nights at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. Now, everything on the website is set to Eastern Standard Time, so it says 5 p.m. on it. And make sure you adjust it to your time zone so that you can be on time to class. Okay, let's talk about my schedule. So before I worked for OutSchool in Your Teachable Moment, I was giving all my hours to VIPKID. I was working 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. every single day, 7 days a week. And when the students were out of school, I was teaching 2 classes every single night. So I was teaching 7:30 p.m., 8 p.m., or maybe 8:30 p.m. And then on Friday and Saturday nights, I would teach 3 classes, sometimes 4. As late as 10 p.m., I'd be working. But I decided that I want to give some more time to my family. So surprisingly, working for more companies has freed me up more for spending special time with my family. Why? Because Friday night and Saturday night and just weekend time, that is when my family is available to hang out with my mother-in-law, with my husband. And so I decided I don't want to work Friday and Saturday nights. So also, since our students are back to school, I decided not to, the evening slots are here or there, hit and miss. I decided not to teach evenings at all with VIPKID. And then I decided something major. I decided to take Mondays off of VIPKID. And I also don't have Mondays with OutSchool. I do teach 1 class in the evening with Your Teachable Moment. We've met twice. It's gone really well. We had 1 class about taxi conversations and 1 class about conversations in the supermarket. Well, in the marketplace, buying clothes or buying food, right? So let's talk about my schedule for VIPKID. I am so blessed that I'm working, okay. Tuesday through Sunday, so every day but Monday, I work 6 o'clock a.m. until the time changes. Then it'll be 5. 6 o'clock to 8 o'clock a.m. It'll be 5 to 7 when we fall back on our clocks, right? There's my schedule for VIPKID. Now, I made sure that I never, ever, ever work this time slot for Your Teachable Moment or for OutSchool because VIPKID gets my PPT time slot. That's the times that book the easiest with VIPKID. That's the ones that are available there. So in OutSchool, I teach classes on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Right now, I teach 30-minute classes at 12 o'clock noon and 3 o'clock. But starting in a week or 2, I'm in a 1 o'clock class in the middle as well. So some days I just have a 3 o'clock class. Some days I have just 12 and 3. And in the future, I'm going to have 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, and 3 o'clock. So my idea in the future is to have these 3 times, these 3 days, and see how my Spanish classes book. We'll see what happens. So for Your Teachable Moment, I have Monday nights. So just experimenting, I set, this is Central Standard Time. It says 6 o'clock Eastern on the website. 5 o'clock p.m., I teach a 45-minute class on Mondays with Your Teachable Moment. So you'll see I'm not bogged down because on Mondays, I'm actually taking off on OutSchool and VIPKID. Why did I choose Monday? Monday is a co-op for it's a homeschool co-op. So my kids and I'm going to be, probably taking care of babies or teaching a preschool art class or something. Or maybe Spanish with the older kids. I don't know. But a homeschool co-op is there's 4 or 5 families that we're going to get together on Mondays and do kind of little classes with our kids. That's nice because for homeschooling, I'm taking the it takes a village to raise a child. That's my quote for homeschooling. So I've got my mother-in-law working, she's from Ecuador, working on Spanish with my daughter on Saturdays. I hired a friend to teach my daughter piano. I'm paying for ABC Mouse for her to do her little reading and math and writing on that iPad and stuff. So I do work with my daughter with homeschooling, but I also, we're going to do the co-op and stuff. So, so that it's not all on me to do, right? Because I've got other things going on as well. I've got 4 kids total. So I don't want to put my daughter on the back burner. I bought her a bunch of beginner readers. She's technically the age to be in kindergarten, but she's the brains to be in first grade. So since we have the advantage of homeschooling, I'm doing kindergarten and first grade kind of wrapped into one for her. So she's learning how to count money and she's learning how to tell time on a clock. And she already knows how to add and subtract, and we're just working on reading and writing, and she's just so smart. Everything she learns, she's like teaching her younger brother and sister too. She's such a teacher. So I didn't teach Deborah any piano. This is the crazy thing. Esther has already memorized some songs on the piano. She doesn't have to look at the book anymore. She knows how to play Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star and Mary Had a Little Lamb. She's not even 6 yet. Well, she turns 6 next week. So anyway, my kids are so smart. I didn't know how to play those songs on the piano. I still don't. I don't have those songs memorized, guys. I know like Hot Cross Buns. So anyway, my kids, and I heard that learning piano is great for brain development. So I might learn some piano alongside my kids, but everything Esther learned, she teaches to Deborah. Deborah's 4.5. She already plays piano really well on those few little songs. So anyway, that's the other thing. They just have a little toy piano. I'm going to be getting them a keyboard soon. So either for Esther's birthday or for Christmas. We'll see when I find a good deal. Anyway. Okay, so sorry to get off topic, but homeschooling is the other thing I do. The thing is, with moms, we have our paid jobs if we're so blessed to have a job, and then our real job, which doesn't pay, which is the mom job. So these are my breaks from teaching my kids, right? So I am starting my Tuesday night class. I would love to have you. I've got three people signed up for the class. It maxes out at 8 people. So sign up. And so I set it at 4 p.m. Central Standard Time, which on the website you'll see it's listed at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Because my friends were saying, I took what different friends were saying and put them together to set up this one. So you see, I have 3 o'clock on Tuesdays, I'm teaching Spanish on OutSchool, and then 4 o'clock on Tuesdays, I'm teaching Spanish on Your Teachable Moment. So my friends would have liked me to go earlier, but I was afraid of double booking myself with the 2 companies. So for right now, since I'm brand new, I'm brand new to Your Teachable Moment, and Your Teachable Moment is brand new to the world, right? So it's literally on its first month or 2 of operation. So really, we're in the beginning stages of a brand new company. It's super exciting. They've got goals. They've got ideas for advertising and things, and it's going to grow. It's going to skyrocket. So it's basically OutSchool for adults. So it's a chance for you as an adult to take a finance class, take a clean out your closet class, take a meditation class, take a Spanish class, take a sign language class, take a finger knitting class from the comfort of your own home, take a painting class. I don't know. What do you want to take? From the comfort of your own home. You can have like a wine and book club class with your friends. You can learn new skills without having to leave your home. Oh, my friend Cindy's also going to have some cooking classes on there. Oh my goodness, who doesn't need to learn more recipes, right? So anyway, I want to say this is how I balance my 3 companies. So I give my mornings. So Mondays, basically, I didn't want to be stressed out. I technically could teach on Monday morning, get my kids ready, go to co-op, and then come back, teach OutSchool, and teach Your Teachable Moment. But I decided that I wanted to be able to sleep in a little bit. So I try to avoid being a stressful mama, being a stressed out mama. So Monday morning can be my morning to sleep in a little bit, get my kids ready, go to co-op. Co-op is from 9 a.m. So getting 4 kids out the door in time to get over there. It's like a 25-minute drive to get there. So getting my kids out the door, everybody ready and out the door, breastfeeding and everything, a little bit of breakfast, and getting there on time. And then it goes until like noon, but sometimes they might have like an activity in the afternoon. So I didn't want to be like, oh, we can't stay for the activity because we have to get back for me to teach on out school. I didn't want to be pressured. So I decided to only teach your teachable moment at 5 p.m. because I would for sure be back by then. So I also decided not to teach evenings anymore. 5 p.m. is the latest. But I I just was so tired of every single night having to teach classes, and my kids, were getting to bed late. They still get to bed late. Who am I kidding? But it's just like I decided that for me, self-care, I don't want to be constantly working in the evenings. And I decided Friday and Saturday nights are family time. I'm not going to teach on Out School or Your Teachable Moment at all on Friday or Saturdays. So what you're going to see with my Your Teachable Moment schedule is these are just my experimental beginning off times and days. So if you would like to take a Your Teachable Moments class from me and you say, it works better for me to have a Thursday class, and you can tell me a time that works for you, and I'll check my schedule with Out School, see if it works. But my idea is I'm going to be working for Out School Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? And then I'm going to be working for Your Teachable Moment Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, eventually, right? Right now I've just got Monday and Tuesday, but yeah. Okay, my friend Luann is here. Welcome, Luann. She says, it's hard to juggle. I'm going to do aromatherapy with Your Teachable Moments, but need to reorganize my time. Very cool. Are you teaching or are you taking the class? Do tell, do tell. So yeah, I surprisingly, this schedule actually motivates me because when I'm just bored, stuck at home all day long with my kids, I don't get as much done. But if I'm like, okay, I need to get lunch made and I need to get the dishes washed and get lunch made and get diapers changed and get the baby fed because I have a class at 12, right? So I'm like, I get more things done, or I'm like, okay, between 12 and 3, I'm going to read some books with Esther, or I need to get the baby down for nap or whatever. So it actually motivates me. Whereas when you have your whole day just like, well, we'll homeschool at some point. I'll make lunch. Oh, look at the time. I guess I should make some lunch or whatever. It's nice kind of having some out school classes because I'll be like, okay, I want to get these things accomplished before my first out school class. Then I want to get these things accomplished between my out school classes. And then after them, I can work on this or whatever. So it's kind of nice because it kind of breaks up my day. And it actually motivates me to get more done, surprisingly. I'm crazy like that I'm a person that if my schedule's more busy, I actually get more done. But I also have to pump the brakes and not do too much. So that's why I'm deciding to have on Saturdays, on Monday mornings, no VIPKID. Woo! This week was the first time I woke up. I was going to go upstairs to class and I realized, oh yeah, I don't work today. So I had breakfast because I was already awake. But it's nice to do whatever you want while your kids are sleeping time, even if you don't sleep in, right? So it's nice. I'm gonna have a day off with VIPKID. So without school, and then I'm gonna do the co-op on Mondays. That's an important part of my schedule. That's gonna be, it's like a job because the moms are the teachers. So I'm gonna be teaching there. Who knows if I'll teach Spanish at the co-op? I'll offer. But I'm going to be probably with the babies a lot because my baby's breastfed and stuff. So yeah, so far we only have 5 families signed up for the co-op, which as far as, social distancing and stuff, that's actually better. But Let me read what you guys are saying. Oh, Luann is teaching aromatherapy. Oh, very cool. Hey, welcome, Kelly. Welcome, Dani. She said, Dani said, hi, hey, friend. I saw fireworks in China this morning. That is so cool. Wow, I wonder if that was connected with Mid-Autumn Festival. It's Mid-Autumn Festival, and then it's another holiday thing. So it's like October 1st through the 8th is like holiday time in China, and I'm not sure what the second holiday is, but it's something that normally they're not at the same time, but this year is like a special Golden Week year in China. So maybe China can share some good luck with us and we can have a better 2020 than we have been having. I mean, one can hope. Dani said, I feel the same, Evelyn. Yeah, as far as schedules go. Creating some new classes today, Kelly said. Oh, is that for out school? Very cool, very cool. I don't have any bookings tomorrow. I might keep it that way. Enjoy the holiday. Yeah, National Day. Oh, National Day is what it is. Okay, very good. So yeah, once again, I know I already talked about it, but now that I have 5 people watching, I'm going to say, so I decided to take Mondays off and work Tuesday through Sunday, 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. And my family goes to church at 11 a.m. That's one of the reasons why we love our church, because it starts at 11. So because it takes a lot. I teach my classes, then I have to get my kids, feed them. Okay, sometimes I don't feed them because they give like goldfish crackers in Sunday school. Okay, yes, I know. Breakfast isn't a big meal in my house. Lunch is the big meal, but we do, I try to pack some snacks, and we tend to, our church has a playground, so we tend to stay after church and play on the playground a little bit because we don't really go to the park that often, and we're always home, so we go to church on Sundays. I did notice though that my son Joshua, he is starting to get eczema right here on his face because when he was a baby, he had baby eczema real bad on his cheeks. His cheeks were really red. He's starting to get eczema right here, and I realized it's right where the mask is. And I think it's because you know how your face gets a little bit sweaty and stuff. So I decided I'm not gonna bring him to the grocery store with me at all, which mostly I don't, but that's when he just wears masks when he goes to the grocery store or when he goes to church. So I'm really blessed I don't have to send my kids to public school because if he had to go to school, which he's only 3, if he had to go to school wearing that mask, he would have eczema real bad on his cheeks. But that's just because he's sensitive. I know most people don't have that problem, but that's been something on my radar with him. Anyway, so Tuesday through Sunday, I work 6 a.m. to 8 a.m. That will shift when we fall back on our clocks soon. Is that a month from now? I think it's in November. Tell me if you know. So when we fall back on our clocks, it'll be 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., which in a way it's kind of nice because you finish your day earlier kind of with that. So anyway, out school is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Right now, I'm either teaching just a 3 o'clock class or a 12 o'clock class and a 3 o'clock class, but I'm going to be adding in a 1 o'clock class. It hasn't booked yet. We'll see starting next week. So if it doesn't book, that's fine. Your teachable moment right now, I'm teaching Monday nights. I've had 2 classes. They've gone really well. We had one class talking about conversations you would have in a taxi and one class talking about conversations you'd have in the marketplace, buying clothes or buying food. And starting on Tuesday night, my friends Dani and Kelly are here. I've got 3 people signed up for that class, and Dani and Kelly are 2 of those 3. And we would love to have you join us, join the fun. Luann, hint, hint, wink, wink. That's 4 p.m. Central Standard Time. So on the website, you'll see that it says 5 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So adjust to your time. So I've repeated myself a couple times on this video because I went from like 1 viewer up to 6. So hello and thank you for the thumbs up. So yeah, I thought that I would make a video explaining how I balance my schedule because some people might be like, wait a minute. you work for 3 companies and you're a stay-at-home mom and you homeschool and you breastfeed. Like, how do you do that? And surprisingly, it works. And actually, I'm less stressed out working for 3 companies and picking the schedule that I actually want than I was for VIPKID working every morning and every evening. And I was just too stressed and tired. Um, and depending on how these book, I could potentially be making more money on a less stressful schedule. So I also like that I'm working for 3 companies because it makes it easier to rest at night knowing that if I oversleep and I were to lose my VIPKID class, it's not my only job, right? And also, if China were to pass a law or America were to pass a law that would mess with our job, that also is okay. I also recently heard that VIPKID, you know how they had a lot of mock class mentors? I think they're changing their way that they do the hiring process, and they let go all of the mock class mentors. And so I asked the person that told me this, the person that told me this knows some mock class mentors and knows this information. And I asked, well, are they still teaching classes though? And she said the ones that she knows are not going to teach classes with VIPKID because they just have bad feelings about the whole situation. So also I know over time, VIPKID has let go a lot of their like advertising people because when it was a new company, they had to advertise a lot. And now that their name is out there, they're not putting as much money in advertising. And I think VIPKID potentially wasted a lot of money with trying to go to other countries as far as, do you remember when they were trying to make VIPKID a thing in South Korea? And the thing is that they have to have like a brick and mortar building in that country. And I think that was a flop as far as I've heard. That hasn't really worked out. So, and then, yeah, with the exchange rate from Chinese money to American money, remember that in China, all of our Chinese parents, they pay in Chinese currency, and all of us teachers get paid in American or Canadian currency. And so that exchange rate does affect, when you have 100,000 teachers, it does add up and affect the company, right? So those are all things that may be affecting VIPKID, but it's important to keep in mind. I have been seeing several posts from teachers who have worked for 4 years with the company or so saying that they got their 7th teacher no-show and they got fired. And so it's just important to have a backup plan for if you were to lose one company, not just a backup plan like if I were to lose a company, then maybe I would apply for such and such company. No, because it's better to have one foot in the door and already be hired at a company that has no minimum hours. For example, for OutSchool, I was hired at OutSchool way before it became a thing for VIPKID teachers. Why? Because I saw someone post on Facebook. I didn't start though. I saw someone post on Facebook that like, hey, I want a job that's compatible with VIPKID that's not asking for the same hours. What companies do you guys work for? And somebody mentioned OutSchool. So I used her referral code. I don't even know whose referral code I used. It wasn't a Facebook friend. It was just some VIPKID teacher, but I used her referral code. So she must have been so surprised that like 8 months later, I finally made $100 with the company and she got her $200 surprise. You get $200. I don't even know who you are, but thanks for telling me about this company, right? So, at least I used a referral code, right? That was back when I didn't know anyone that worked for the company, because it was my first time hearing about it. So the first time I heard about it, I applied for it because it's no minimum hours, but I didn't even set up a I didn't even set up a class with them until it started becoming a thing and all my friends started having classes, and I signed my kids up for a bunch of out school classes, and I made YouTube videos about it, just trying to gain confidence to set up a class. So now that I set up classes and I teach them, it's a lot more comfortable, right? And so now it's not as big of a deal. So it's actually been fun teaching some classes that I teach the same students for 5 weeks, because I've been getting to know my students and they crack me up. They're so funny. Anyway, Dani, everybody's saying bye to Dani. Bye, Dani. She says, gotta go help the kids. Have a great day. Yeah. So a lot of my friends are doing online learning for their kiddos. So yeah. Um, The bookings are in China. Luann, look forward to an unboxing video. Luann, are you doing an unboxing video? This is a possibility. We have no idea what will happen with the USA-China relations. Yes. So that's why it's nice to have a company like OutSchool that is not related to VIPKID, not related to China. But I also would say it's nice to have another company, Your Teachable Moment, because I'm able to teach adults and you know, a friend of mine was saying she's not sure if she wants to endorse OutSchool because some of the classes that other teachers offer don't agree with her moral standards, right? But my perspective on that is I can't say to her whether she should work for this company or not, because that's her personal decision, her personal conviction. But for me, um, I'm an independent contractor. I give OutSchool 30% for letting me use their platform, but they're my classes. So she felt a little, negative feelings about endorsing a company that might teach some classes that she doesn't agree with the moral standards in those classes. But my perspective is this is a platform where I create my own classes. So if I'm talking good on OutSchool and then they happen to have a class that maybe I don't agree with what's being taught, that's not on me. I'm just telling people it's an opportunity to make some money and set up your own classes. I'm not so worried about what's going on in other people's classes because that doesn't directly affect me. But just know that when I endorse a company, it doesn't mean that I agree with every single teacher on the platform or every single thing that they're teaching. This teacher, it especially made her sick to her stomach because she saw an advertisement with one of her classes, and right next to it was a class that she didn't agree with what was being taught. But for me, that's what happens when you work for a company that there are various, people. There's a ton of different people teaching a ton of different things. So that's something that can happen. But I'm not, by endorsing OutSchool, I'm just endorsing an opportunity to work from home. I'm not endorsing everything that's being taught on the platform because I don't know everything that's being taught on the platform. But also, this person was upset by posts in Facebook groups. The only OutSchool Facebook group that I ever look at is my friend Kelly's group that's called Free and Discounted OutSchool classes, something like that. OutSchool free and discounted classes. Because the thing is, this happens with VIPKID too. There's a lot of drama on a lot of groups with VIPKID. So what I did was I joined a lot of groups with VIPKID. And as I see drama that I don't want to be a part of, I've been clicking leave the group. I don't make a post and say, I'm leaving the group and I'm going to be loud about it and everybody needs to cause an uproar talking about me leaving the group. No, I'm just like, I'm in a lot of groups. I'm gonna bye, not say bye. I'm in a lot of groups and I've gotten rid of some of them. And I'm just in, I like Christian VIPKID Teachers is a great one that has managed to have no drama with being big. I was invited to be an admin of a group, which I will not name what group it was. But when it was a beginner group, I even told the person that created the group and invited me to be an admin, I said, just letting you know, when the group's like under 1,000 people, I love it. But when the group is like tens of thousands of people, I'm probably going to say bye about being an admin. And that happened. the group grew and she added in more and more and more admins. And I disagreed with something with the other admins. And that was starting to stress me out. So I said, you know what? Honestly, guys, I don't have it's not like I'm not forgiving. It's not like I have an issue. It's just I'm not getting paid for this drama. I'm like, I don't want to be an admin anymore. I'm still in that group. I mostly don't post, but I post on occasion. But I'm the creator of a group, VIPKID YouTubers, and it just hit 200. That's a sweet spot. 200 people. I want to keep that community. I put in parentheses after VIPKID YouTubers, I put facilitating friendships, because those are the kinds of groups I like. I like smaller groups where, the people can converse and make friends and actually check out each other's channels and actually watch each other's contents and actually become friends and actually get to know each other, not just where you're lost in a crowd and it seems kind of spammy, right? So I tend to like those smaller types of communities. So, yeah. So when people say, oh, I don't know if I should work for such and such company because there's a lot of drama on Facebook, just leave the Facebook groups. Leave them. Because this VIPKID, Outschool, and Your Teachable Moment, I'm not in them because I'm going to be friends with every teacher that works on the platform. And actually on Facebook, I had 450 friends, but obviously I didn't know a lot of them personally. Some of them were just people that sent me friend requests because we have friends in common and we're both VIPKID teachers, but they had plenty of time to comment on one of my posts or say, hey, or get to know me. So I went through my Facebook friends and I cut it down to 250. I cut off 200 people. But if one of those people that never ever commented to me wanted to send me a message and be like, hey, I wanted to be your friend and you stopped being friends with me, I would be like, oh, you want to be my friend? Okay, I'll add you back, But my thing is, I decided that YouTube is where I'm going to do the social media where I let a lot of people in. You want to subscribe to me, doesn't matter who you are, you can subscribe to my channel. But Facebook is a little bit just like more close-knit. If you want to get to know me and be my friend and you're a VIPKID teacher, cool. But I was having a few people, if I posted something political, which I get political on Facebook, if I posted something political, I was having people try to argue, and I'm just like, some people have been like, oh, are you mad at me? I saw you deleted my comments. I'm just like, I posted something political, but I'm not trying to like start an argument. You know what I mean? So yeah. Oh, Brooke is here. Brooke, I don't know if you were here at the beginning of the video, but I was talking about the homeschool co-op. So I want to say thank you so much to Brooke. Brooke invited me to a homeschool co-op in my city. So it's so cool because it's led by a VIPKID teacher friend and I get to meet her in person. I'm so excited about that. So yeah, she said, I need you. I just teach upstairs. So it's never cold enough to wear it while teaching. Oh, talking about wearing your hoodie. I actually have this blank sweatshirt and I was talking to my friend Cindy Bennett. She's going to send me some iron-ons and I'm going to put Teacher Evelyn because I need more things that don't say VIPKID on them that are warm for teaching with Outschool and Your Teachable Moment. So I'm going to have like Teacher Evelyn on here. I taught in this morning. So yeah, I want to say to Brooke, thank you so much for inviting me to be in the homeschool co-op because I tried Googling and looking up homeschool co-ops in Kansas City and they were all full. And I don't necessarily want to go to one that's super huge with coronavirus and all that. And there was a homeschool co-op that met at my church, but my church, because of coronavirus, they're not letting them meet there this year. So, and also I think that one didn't have openings. So anyway, I'm so excited. Brooke says, so excited to meet you in person for homeschool group. You are so welcome. Thank you. So yeah, she said there's just like 5 families signed up. I'm actually excited about that because like I just got done saying with Facebook groups, sometimes smaller, more intimate groups have less drama. I don't know what it is about. Well, I guess the bigger the group, the more likely you have, clashing personality types. But I think people also feel more liberty in big groups when they're kind of hiding in a crowd to say whatever they want to, right? So I'm excited. I'm excited about the co-op. And even if I don't make any other friends, I get to meet my friend Brooke in person. And I know we'll hit it off because we've already talked on the phone. We're good friends. So yeah, I am so excited about that. So anyway, I was talking about my schedule. So VIPKID, I decided because of the co-op to take Monday mornings off. So it's a chance to sleep in and not be stressed out. I don't want to be like, okay, teach the VIPKID classes, get my kids ready and out the door, go to co-op. I don't want to be like a stressed out mess. I want to sleep in a little bit, get my kids ready, go to go to homeschool co-op, don't have out school classes in the afternoon, just teach your teachable moment in the evening. So Mondays, I say it's my day off, but really it's my day for co-op and for your teachable moment in the evening, right? It's just different things. Yeah. Oh, thank you. It brings out my eyes, right? My friend Mary Ann said, Evelyn, that color looks good on you. Thank you. So my friend Mary Ann is coming to Kansas City soon. And hopefully if the weather's nice, we're going to go to the zoo. So I decided that I'm going to buy a zoo pass again for several reasons. To go one day is like a lot of money. And to get a zoo pass for the whole year is like not that much if you use it a couple of times, right? Also, our zoo with coronavirus and having to close down and everything with the pandemic, they've been struggling to feed their animals. I don't know if it's related, but a couple of animals died in our zoo. So I definitely want them to stay open. I definitely want them to feed their animals. So I decided I'm gonna get the pass. I'm gonna see. My thought is during a school day when everyone's either doing online learning or in-person school day, there should be almost nobody at the zoo, right? That's what I've been experienced with. My family went to an arcade. We were the only ones there. We got the whole arcade to ourselves, right? So I'm thinking on a school day during the day, if we go to the zoo, there probably won't be people. So I'm thinking we can, do stuff. Brooke said, does the Kasie Zoo require masks? Let me double check. I I don't want to give you outdated information because I received the zoo emails and let me look at the Kansas City Zoo website so that I can give you the correct information. I believe last I heard, mask policy. Please note that the zoo guests are required to wear protective face masks indoors, on rides, and in areas where social distancing may not be feasible. Learn more by clicking COVID-19 updates on the homepage. So that's awesome because if I go at a time when there's nobody, like we'll like wear our masks, but then we'll like take them off. But then when we want to ride on the carousel and on the little train, I guess we'll wear our masks. But with my son Joshy, he's 3 and he's starting to get eczema on his face. He's real sensitive. That probably won't happen to most people, but I'm trying to, as much as possible, not have him wear a mask. So he doesn't get to go to the grocery store with me. And in his little Sunday school class, they can take their masks off. Last week we said, oh, he can keep his on, but I think when we go to Sunday school, it's just a few little kids in the class. I think we're going to say he can have his mask off when he's in the class. But so, yeah, it looks like they do have masks, but you can take them off when you're social distancing outside, right? That's what I used to love about being home during the day. Exactly. So my family, we went to an arcade and we had it all to ourselves. There was just a few employees and us. My kids got to ride the Ferris wheel and the little train and the carousel, and we did air hockey table, and they threw the balls at the little clowns and they fell down, whatever, and got the little candy with the claw machine. We got to do all the things and we were the only customers there. It was so fun. So yeah, welcome to homeschooling field trips. Right? What arcade? Oh yeah, so I say arcade because it's called Power Play. So yeah, we went to Power Play. My youngest has asthma and he gets that way. Look if he that gets that waxy look if he doesn't get enough oxygen. Yeah, that's scary stuff. Very good. So anyway, I wanted to make this video, I thought, and talk about my schedule because I'm interviewing a lot of OutSchool teachers on my channel, and I'm always asking them, how's your schedule? What's your schedule like? What hours do you work? And I was thinking, I've been saying, even my husband's confused. I'll just tell him that day what hours I'm working. But if he wants to watch this video, which he probably will, he'll know my hours. But it's nice because I am my own boss. I am an independent contractor. I I get to pick my own schedule. I even get to pick my own price for OutSchool and for your teachable moment. So yeah. Oh, sorry, I didn't say. Did I say the arcade? It's Power Play. Yeah. Brooke's leaving. Bye, Brooke. I look forward to it. On Monday, I get to meet Brooke for the first time. So excited about that. So yeah, I just wanted to share what my schedule looks like because sometimes I wonder about other people who homeschool and are stay-at-home moms and work for VIPKID and OutSchool or your teachable moment. Like what do your schedules look like, right? And surprisingly, it's very doable. Yeah. So yeah, very cool. Yeah. What do you guys say? Oh, okay. Kelly says I'm on the East Coast. Very good. That's what I used. Okay, already read that. Very cool. Anyway, I'm so thankful. Okay, I'm gonna say this. When I started with VIPKID, at that time, I dreamed up back in the day. I dreamed of one day working at a Christian school so that my paycheck could pay for my kids to go to the Christian school. But then I sort of did that. I worked at a Christian school that had a daycare in it, and I worked at the daycare, and I hated it. I also didn't like having to take my kids to the daycare. My thought process before was if I worked at a Christian school, I could get to see my kids in the hallway or work in their classrooms and be a part of their education, but I wouldn't be responsible of educating them. And if it was at a Christian school, I could trust it more as far as what they're teaching, that it aligns with my morals. But working at a Christian school, I realized that my coworkers were really one of them was really nice, and a few of them were gossipy and mean. I didn't really fit in. I didn't get to pick where I worked. So they had me in the baby room when they didn't let me work in the same room as my own kids because they had this theory that if you work with your own kids, your kids will act out more or you'll give more attention to your own kids. So I didn't get to work in the same room as my own kids. So what I was doing was I was taking care of other people's babies, working with coworkers that were gossiping about me and treating me badly. And I didn't I'm not skilled at taking care of 10 crying babies at once, okay? And then situations would happen like there was a baby that they were making the baby do tummy time, but the baby was crying so much because he didn't want to do tummy time that his vein was popping out of his forehead. He was crying so hard. So I picked him up because I am everybody has different parenting styles, right? I don't do cry it out. I don't do force a baby to do tummy time. That's a baby. You have to nurture them. You have to take care of them. Like there's no such thing as spoiling a baby with too much love and attention. And the thing is, I was seeing those teachers take pictures of the babies smiling and text it to the parents, giving the facade that their babies were happy, but then their babies were not happy. And then I would ask questions to make sure that I wasn't stepping on any toes, doing anything wrong. And then I was treated like dumb for asking questions when I was new. I didn't want to do anything wrong, so I was like, should I change this baby's diaper? And they're like, you should know. Look at the chart. Why are you asking me? Blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, well. And then I was treated. I saw how the girl before me was treated. She was treated like she was absolutely not smart. And then when that girl stopped working there and I replaced her in the room, they started treating me like that, like I wasn't smart enough to do the job. And I just it was minimum wage. My kids got to come for free, but I want to raise my own kids. I had my my 1-year-old at the time was in the toddler class, and she didn't walk yet. She was the only one in the class that didn't walk yet. The teachers in that class definitely judged me because my child didn't walk yet. They definitely judged me that I was doing something wrong as a parent, when technically they were the ones that were with her, right? I think honestly she probably took longer to walk because of her personality and because I never put her in a walker, but or in a I never put her really I never forced her to stand up, but she would stand up holding on to things, but she was afraid to walk independently. Anyway, so I was judged for that. I just felt very judged. It was like, this is not what I envisioned with working at a Christian school, right? I envisioned I'm going to get to work in my kids' classrooms and they're going to make little friends and stuff. So anyway, I never thought I would be so happy about being a homeschool mom. And I'm so excited that I was invited to be a part of a homeschool co-op and stuff. Can she walk now, says Luann? That was a long time ago. I was pregnant with Joshie at the time. She learned to walk at 1.5 at 19 months. When I was in the hospital giving birth to Joshie, my mother-in-law encouraged her to walk. So yeah. Oh, Luann said it was a joke. We all do things in different timing. Exactly. Yeah. And now, of course, mom guilt is real, guys. Now, of course, I feel guilty because my 3-year-old's not potty trained yet, and he just turned 3. But most people have their 3-year-olds potty trained when they're 2. Now he just turned 3 and he's not potty trained yet. So I feel like somebody else should potty train my kids because I'm not. The thing is, it's hard when you have 4 kids, it's hard to dedicate all your time on one child potty training them, because if somebody could take the other 3 away for 2 days, I'd get him potty trained. It's a little bit on the back burner as far as my focus. Also, he is willing to sit on the toilet with Daddy, but he'll sit on the potty for a little bit for me, but he won't do it all day. You know what I mean? Nicole Mitchell's here. She says, mom guilt gets me daily. Don't worry about a thing. Exactly. The thing is, when it's your first child, mom guilt's even worse, because it's with my first child, I worried about oh no, milestones or whatever, and she was fine. And then my second child was way later on walking, because Esther learned to walk at 10 months. Deborah learned to walk at 9 months. So I worried about walking with Deborah. Then with Joshie, I worried about talking. I actually signed him up for speech therapy because I wasn't the only one worried about his speech. He was walking, running, climbing, all the things from a young age because he's all boy, but he wasn't talking. He was just saying mama, dada, but he turned 2, and other people's 2-year-olds were talking their ears off, and my 2-year-old didn't really talk. So I signed him up for speech therapy. So now a year later, he's graduated speech therapy. So now I feel oh, he should be potty trained by now. So there's that. So now my 4th baby, I was worried about him because he couldn't breastfeed very well. He couldn't latch on well, so I was having to pump, but I was having to give him formula while I was pumping, and I felt like a total failure. So he had a lip tie. I actually got, I have Medicaid. So I found a dentist that takes my Medicaid that does the procedure. It's a little laser cut. It takes a few seconds, and it has helped him to breastfeed. So now he's an expert at breastfeeding. So yeah, it's if it's not one thing, it's another, right? There's always something to feel guilty about or whatever. And then like it's just there's always something. And also moms always judge each other. We're all just trying the best. Like that's why I'm not in any mom groups on Facebook. Some people have told me, "Oh my goodness," or I've seen posts, "I'm in a mom's group." And there are people in the mom's group that say blah 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 blah. I can't believe it. I'm like, "Leave the mom's group. You are not getting paid for that drama." You know what I mean? Like I was getting paid to work at the daycare and I was so happy to quit. I was so happy to quit. And it made me realize that my dream of working at a Christian school so I could be a part of my kids' education wasn't exactly what I thought it would be, right? So I didn't even know you could work online, but I'm so thankful I can work online, teach from home, and I get to be a part of my kids' education. I'm a teacher. Why can't I teach my own kids? Especially stuff like reading and math for first grade level. I can handle that. And by the time they're in high school, they'll be learning independently on the iPad, on the computer, from programs through that. So, anyway, yeah, mom guilt is real. So, yeah, I set a timer and have the kids help. Haha. Oh, a timer with, are you talking about potty training, Cindy? Cindy, maybe I should interview. Cindy Bennett, I want to interview you on my channel about raising kids. Okay? Because if anybody's an expert on it, I know she will not want me to call her an expert. My friend Cindy Bennett has raised 13 kids. So yeah. Oh, haha, I am. She said she is talking about. Let me tell you, even moms who have breastfed for 2 years, I breastfed Joshy for 2 years, still can struggle with breastfeeding because after I finished with Joshy, then I had Caleb. I knew how to breastfeed. He didn't. And it wasn't his fault. His lip had a problem, right? So like sometimes you have a kid like my first who she walked and crawled at she learned to crawl and walk at 10 months, both of them. So she didn't crawl for a long time, but then she did, and then she was walking too. But then Deborah, she's an expert crawler. She's so good at crawling. She crawled earlier, maybe 8 months or something. She's crawling all over the place. And she wasn't confident to walk independently. She would hold on to things and walk, but she wouldn't. She has that personality that she can be fearful of things, right? Also, Deborah. Okay, I won't. Never mind. But there's been potty training struggles with Deborah as well. That some of them are ongoing. But yeah. But some of it's her personality. She's not a people pleaser. Esther is a people pleaser. Joshy is all boy. Deborah is strong-willed. There are benefits to all of those personality types, right? Who knows? Joshy might change my oil and change my tire when I need it when I'm older, right? He maybe he'll be a pro soccer player and he'll take care of the whole family, right? We don't know, right? Esther, who knows? Maybe she'll be an expert pianist. She tells me she wants to be a teacher sometimes. Sometimes she says that. Sometimes she says she wants to be a princess or a doctor or a veterinarian. How my kids both have told me they want to be veterinarians when they're afraid of every dog they ever see. I don't know how they're going to be veterinarians, but they told me when they grow up, they're not going to be afraid of dogs anymore. So we'll see. We'll see. Yesterday, I fixed a doll by gluing it, and my kids already broke it. So I made a video yesterday of how to fix toys. But if your kids, force the glue to come undone, you may have to glue it again. But yeah, potty training in my world, truth. My close family, no, I wait till they potty train themselves. Ha ha ha. Very nice. So both Esther and Deborah, I potty trained them the week they turned 3. Now, Joshy turned 3 1 month ago, and he's not potty trained yet. So it makes me go, oh, he's not potty trained yet. But also, Esther and Deborah were more advanced at talking. Joshy, with his speech, by the way, he graduated speech therapy, but there is a little bit of a lisp that I have to keep an eye on. When he makes his S's, he goes, Esther, cheese. So what I do is I tell him cheese. So he'll go cheese. But then he feels his tongue and goes, cheese. So then I give him the cheese, you see? When he wants the cheese, I give him the cheese when he says it correctly. So we're putting our finger there so that he can see to put his tongue behind his teeth. Cheese, not cheese, right? So they tell me it's better to work on it at a young age so it doesn't become a long habit. But yeah, but every kid is learning something different, right? For potty training, I have had them trained at 2, and one was close to 4. Oh, nice. But they aren't bed riders. I think you mean wetters. And we didn't have accidents once they learned. Very good. Yeah. The funny thing is, I waited to teach Esther how to read because a friend of mine who homeschools, she says her biggest regret was teaching her son how to read at too young of an age. And so now he's such an advanced reader and loves reading so much. He's like 8 years old, but his reading level is like high school level. But there's no books that are written for his maturity level that are written at his reading level. So she says she regrets teaching him to read early. So I postponed teaching Esther how to read. I taught her how to write. But now that she's about to turn 6, I'm teaching her how to read, and she's learning really fast. But I can't postpone it for the other 2 because they are watching Esther learn to read, and they want me to read with them and teach them to read. So Deborah and Joshie are learning to read. So Deborah's 4.5 and Joshie's 3. So it's so funny how everybody learns at their own pace. But for me, I learned to read at 6 years old, and I was always a slow reader, and I always struggled with reading so much that if I had been homeschooled and had siblings close to my age who were interested in reading with me, I probably would have practiced reading more, and I probably would have been better at it. Just a thought. But yeah. For more advanced reading books, we get old books. The older books have better vocabulary and higher reading level. That's awesome. Very good. Well, I hear my kids stirring. They're awake. Um, I also am going to be working on a project of putting I need to put some extra toys in the attic. We have like way too many toys in this house. And I'm going to keep just the favorites out. And I need to clean out a closet. I need to clean out 2 closets. Cleaning out closets is not fun because that's where I shove everything. I need to clean out one closet and then move all the girls' clothes upstairs because they need to move to the upstairs bedroom soon. It's pretty much set up for them. It's just really messy with toys and books thrown everywhere. Then I want to move the bookshelf downstairs to the living room and set up a bookshelf there so that rather than toys, we're going to be playing with books. Reading. The books will be more accessible for them to just grab a book and read, right? So I had a lot of books kind of put away from them because they were at the age to rip paper. Now they're older and very interested in actually reading the books, not just ripping them up, right? So I've been kind of collecting books over time and saving them up because at our doctor's office, they give a free book to the kids, and sometimes you can pick out an extra free book. So we've been getting extra books, and we're with the I do the Parents as Teachers program. They give us books sometimes. So anyway, I need to set up a book display, a bookshelf, but also I don't want to have so many books and so many toys that it's just always a mess and I'm always stressed out. So I want to put a lot of books, a lot of toys away, move the clothes, put the books away. I just bought new winter pajamas for Joshie and Caleb, but I also need to go through the closet and see if I can find any hand-me-down pajamas for Caleb because that boy, he turns 9 months today. He's wearing size 4 diapers. He's wearing size 18-month clothes. So I also probably could find a lot of baby clothes and pass them on to some mom friends that have babies. Anyway, I hear that my husband and all my kids are awake. So we just love extra time with Daddy. my husband, he is a really good daddy, and we enjoy time with him when he has a day off like today, so we're gonna go have some fun. Okay, bye. This is my schedule. Today actually is, what is today? Thursday. I have a 12 o'clock class and a 3 o'clock class, and know your teachable moment. And I only had 2 VIP kid classes, so all right. Thanks, guys. Have a lovely day. Bye.